Happy Earth Day, everyone. Today's actually the 50th anniversary of Earth Day. So I hope you guys are having a great Earth Day. Today we're going to do a special activity. I'm going to teach you a little bit about greenhouse effect and your carbon footprint. And then you guys will be able to calculate your own carbon footprint. And we will see what we can do to make that number get smaller, reduce our carbon footprint to help save our planet. So I'm going to present to you a little Google Slides so you guys can see what greenhouse effect is all about. All right, so today's Earth Day, April 22nd, 2020. It's the 50th anniversary of Earth Day. And what is the greenhouse effect? Greenhouse gases exist in the atmosphere surrounding the Earth and keep it warm. This diagram shows the path of energy. The sun gives off energy that is absorbed by the Earth. This is how our planet gets heat. Some of this heat is radiated back into space, meaning it leaves the Earth and goes into space. When the heat travels back into space, it must pass through the Earth's atmosphere. Gases in the atmosphere absorb some of this heat, keeping the air around us warm. We call this effect the greenhouse effect, and these gases are called greenhouse gases because they act like the glass roof of a greenhouse. We need these gases in the atmosphere, or our planet would become too cold for us to live on. At the same time, if too many of these gases accumulate, then not enough heat can escape and our planet gets too warm. The Earth is the perfect temperature for humans to live on. If the planet gets too hot or too cold, then we would not be able to survive. Some human activities produce greenhouse gases. While it is important that we have some greenhouse gases in the atmosphere, too many can be a bad thing. When the level of greenhouse gases gets too high, climate change occurs. This can lead to more storms, such as hurricanes and snowstorms, and can limit our ability to grow crops for food. Scientists have created a term for the amount of extra greenhouse gases that people put in the air, and that's called your carbon footprint. Today, we are going to calculate your carbon footprint. Each of you has a carbon footprint. Your carbon footprint is the amount of greenhouse gases that are emitted into the air because of your activities. Many activities contribute to your carbon footprint, such as heating your house, how you get to school, how much trash you throw away. Some activities emit greenhouse gases directly, like the gas from the tailpipe of your car or the bus you take to school. For other activities, the greenhouse gases were emitted elsewhere, such as the factory where your TV was made, or the power plant where the power for your lights was generated. We're going to calculate our carbon footprint. This means we will look at the emissions you can see and the emissions that happen far away at factories or power plants. Then we will come up with ideas on how we can reduce our emissions and reduce our carbon footprint. You're going to need a piece of paper to write on. The first thing you're going to do is write down all the different numbers that you need to add and subtract. So first, how do you get to school? If you walk, you're going to write down a 0 on your piece of paper. If you bike, you're going to add 0. If you are driven in a car, you're going to add 1,115. If you ride the school bus, you're going to add 131. If you carpool with other students in a car, you're going to add 459. So write down one of those numbers that best describes what you do most of the time. What do you mostly eat? If you mostly eat fast food like McDonald's or takeout pizza, you're going to add 4,818. If you mostly eat food cooked at your own house, you're going to add 629. And again, this is just your best estimate. What do you do most of the time? What kinds of food do you eat? If you eat mostly fruits and vegetables, add 153. If you eat mostly meat, add 644. And if you eat mostly bread, add 364. Do you turn off lights when you leave a room? If you said yes, add 133. If you said no, add 268. So remember, you don't have to add these up right now. You're just writing all the numbers down. Do you unplug appliances and chargers when not in use? If you said yes, then you're going to add 9. If no, then you're going to add 18. How do you dry your clothes? If you hang them on a clothesline, add 0. If you use a dryer, add 750. If you use both a clothesline and a dryer, add 375. Do you turn off the water when brushing your teeth? If you said yes, add 34. And you said no, add 274. Do you turn off the TV when you are not watching it? If you said yes, add 47. If you said no, add 140. Do you turn off your video game when you are not using it? If you said yes, add 29. If you said no, add 90. If you don't have any video games or don't play video games, add 0. Do you recycle? For this question, add or subtract all the numbers that apply. So if you recycle magazines, subtract 15. If you recycle newspapers, subtract 90. If you recycle glass, subtract 7. If you recycle plastic, subtract 19. If you recycle aluminum and steel cans, subtract 86. Now, you should pause this video so that you can do all the math. So you're going to add and subtract all those numbers that you wrote on your piece of paper. Make sure you line them up in nice, neat columns. So this is a really good time to press pause on the video. Once you have your grand total, then press play. All right, you have now calculated your carbon footprint number by adding and subtracting the numbers on your paper. This is the number of pounds of carbon dioxide you produce every year. The lower the number, the few greenhouse gases you are adding to the atmosphere. My carbon footprint was 2,297 pounds, which sounds like a lot to me. So I'm already thinking, can I make that number lower? What can you do to reduce that number? Think of at least one thing that you and your family can do to reduce your carbon footprint. Then fill out the Google form I sent you and submit it to Mrs. Sherman. I can't wait to see. So on the Google form, it's going to ask you 2 questions. So what was the number, your carbon footprint number? Then what is one thing that your family is going to do to try to reduce that carbon footprint number? Will you turn off your electronics? Could you walk to school? Could you recycle more? Could you eat more fruits and vegetables? Talk to your family and think of things that you can do to help our planet. You can also watch the Sherman family video to find out what the Shermans are doing to reduce our carbon footprint for Earth Day. If you want to make a video or a poster or a Google slide, you absolutely can make those things and share them with me. I definitely want you to fill out the Google form, and the other things are optional. I thought it was fun to make a video of how we're going to help our planet, and so you definitely can do that if you want to, but you don't have to. You can just fill out the Google form with your carbon footprint and your idea on how you're going to reduce that carbon footprint. I cannot wait to see how you are going to make a difference. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed learning about the greenhouse gases and greenhouse effect and your carbon footprint. And I hope you're thinking of lots of ways to make our planet healthier and reduce those carbon emissions. All right, thank you. I can't wait to see what you guys come up with.